Groovy English Podcast.
Hey there! Welcome back to Groovy English. I'm Chloe.
And I'm Aiden. We share real stories, useful tips, and everyday English to help you grow with confidence.
Wherever you are in your English learning journey, we're glad you're here.
If you're enjoying the podcast, feel free to like, subscribe, or share it with a friend. Let's get started.
Hi everyone, I'm Eva. Today, I want to tell you about how listening to podcasts changed my English learning journey completely, and how it can help you too. When I first started learning English, I thought reading and writing were the most important skills. I spent hours studying grammar books and writing essays. But when it came to speaking and understanding real conversations, I struggled a lot. One day, a friend suggested I try listening to English podcasts. At first, I was nervous. I worried that I wouldn't understand anything. But I decided to give it a try, just for 10 minutes a day. The first few days were tough. The voices sounded fast, and I couldn't catch all the words. Sometimes I just listened without understanding much, but I kept going. I knew listening regularly would train my brain to recognize the sounds and rhythms of English. After a week, things started to change. I noticed I was hearing familiar words and phrases more often. I could follow simple stories and conversations. My listening skills were improving, and with that, my speaking confidence began to grow. I started repeating sentences I liked out loud. It felt like I was practicing with real people. I copied their pronunciation and intonation, which helped me sound more natural when I spoke. Sometimes, I paused the podcast and tried to answer the questions or make my own sentences using the new words I heard. It was like having a mini conversation, even though I was alone. Listening every day also helped me learn new expressions and slang. I felt more connected to how people actually speak, not just what's in textbooks. It made English feel alive and fun. Over time, I stopped being afraid of English. When I met native speakers, I could understand them better and respond more easily. My confidence grew because I had been training my ears and mouth every day. Of course, it took patience and effort. Some episodes were hard to understand, and I had to listen several times. But each time, I learned a little more. If you're learning English, I encourage you to find podcasts that interest you. Listen during your commute, while cooking, or just before bed. Even 10 minutes a day can make a huge difference. At first, I chose podcasts that were made especially for English learners. They spoke slowly and clearly, and the topics were simple. This helped me build my confidence because I could understand most of what they said. But after a few weeks, I wanted to challenge myself more. So, I started listening to podcasts made for native speakers. These were faster and used more slang and idioms. Sometimes, I had no idea what was going on, but I didn't give up. I kept listening because I knew it was stretching my brain in new ways. One thing I learned is that it's okay not to understand every word. Instead of focusing on individual words, I tried to get the overall meaning. This helped me enjoy the story or conversation, even if some parts were unclear. I also discovered the power of repetition. If I really liked an episode, I'd listen to it 2 or 3 times. Each time, I caught new details and understood more. It was like peeling back layers of meaning slowly. Another helpful tip was to use transcripts when available. Reading along while listening helped me connect the sounds with the written words. This improved my pronunciation and helped me learn spelling at the same time. As my listening skills improved, I noticed a big change in my vocabulary. I started using new words and expressions in my own conversations. For example, instead of saying, "very good," I learned to say, "awesome," or "fantastic," just by hearing them on podcasts. Listening to different accents was another benefit. English isn't just one sound, it's spoken differently all over the world. Hearing Australian, British, American, and even non-native speakers made me more comfortable with all kinds of English. At first, it was challenging to stay focused. Sometimes my mind would wander, or I'd feel overwhelmed by how fast native speakers talked. But I learned to be patient with myself. Progress doesn't happen overnight, and every minute I listened was a step forward. I also realized the importance of choosing topics I enjoyed. When the content was about something I loved, like travel, food, or music, I was more motivated to listen closely. Interest made learning feel less like a chore and more like a fun adventure. Sometimes, I'd listen during daily activities like cooking or walking. This multitasking helped me fit English practice into a busy schedule without stress. It also made English feel like a natural part of my day, not just something I did in study time. I found that talking about what I listened to helped me remember better. I'd tell a friend about an interesting story or explain a new word I learned. Speaking about the podcasts made the information stick and boosted my confidence. At times, I recorded myself summarizing what I heard. Listening to my own voice helped me spot mistakes and improved my pronunciation. It was exciting to hear how much better I got over just a few weeks. Listening to real conversations on podcasts taught me a lot about tone and emotion. I noticed how people sound happy, sad, excited, or annoyed through their voices. This helped me understand feelings better when I spoke or listened in real life. There were moments when I felt stuck or frustrated, when I couldn't understand a phrase or a joke. But I learned to see these moments as opportunities, not failures. Each challenge pushed me to keep learning and try different approaches. Another helpful practice was pausing and repeating phrases I liked. Saying them out loud helped my mouth get used to the rhythm and sounds of English. It was like giving my speaking muscles a gentle workout every day. Over time, I stopped translating everything in my head. Instead, I started thinking directly in English. This was a game changer because it made speaking and understanding faster and more natural. Most importantly, I learned to enjoy the journey. Language learning isn't about perfection, it's about connection, connecting with new ideas, new cultures, and new people. And every podcast episode brought me one step closer to that connection. One day, I realized I was dreaming in English. That was a big sign that my brain was adapting. Thinking and dreaming in English made speaking feel more natural and less like translating from my native language. I also began to enjoy the culture behind the language. Podcasts introduced me to jokes, stories, and traditions I didn't know before. This made learning English much more interesting and motivated me to keep going. Finally, listening to podcasts made English a part of my daily life. It wasn't just a subject to study, it became something I enjoyed, something that connected me to people and ideas all over the world. That's when I knew my English journey was really changing for the better. Remember, language learning isn't just about studying rules, it's about exposure, practice, and enjoying the process. Let your ears lead the way, and your voice will follow. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope it inspires you to add podcasts to your daily English routine and watch your skills grow.
Your English is shining brighter by the minute. Hit that next video to keep leveling up your skills. Or dive into our other episodes for more secrets to talk like a pro. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share to join the Groovy English crew.